Hello, and
So,
welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We're your host, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how you doing this week?
uh, well, Tyler, I feel good, but I have some words of wisdom.
Okay.
Be excellent to one another and party on, dudes.
Well, I wish I could be excellent to this movie. But we'll get into
Ooh,
that into a minute. Obviously, if you know what that catchphrase is, we are talking about Bill and Ted and I guess the last movie in a trilogy, Bill and Ted Face
yeah,
the Music.
yes, that is correct.
Yeah, maybe you can explain this.
So, Bill and Ted Face the Music is the final piece to the puzzle that was a all-time classic of the late 80s, early 90s, starring Keanu Reeves and uh, I'm forgetting Alex Winter, I think.
Yes, Winter.
Pretty much they're kind of played like stoners in the early movies, but not really. They're just kind of dumb and they want to be rock stars. This movie is essentially the last one where they're old. Ooh, it's hard to sum it up like this. So the first movie, they find out that they have to pass their history test because they're the key to world peace in the future. But in order to do that, they do this through music. So they go on this whole adventure, abduct people of history to do a wicked awesome final presentation. But they still haven't written the song yet. The second movie, they pretty much get killed by uh, evil plot to not have world peace, and then they come back once they learn how to play an awesome show, and then they still haven't written the song that saves the world. And this takes place after that, where the band breaks up, and it's basically their adventure to try and find when they wrote the perfect song with the help of their, not really help, but they try, their two daughters, Billy and Thea.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you for the explanation because I got, and Mike, you've seen all three. I'm coming from someone who has only just watched the newest movie. So, one thing I will say I liked about the movie is the introduction from the daughters about who their fathers are.
Yes.
I thought it was a pretty good, quick recap and like quick and dirty. Okay, these are the two characters. Here's what they do, and here we go. I guess to kick off with one issue I have with the movie is, and as you mentioned and as the movie mentioned, is like, oh well, they broke up, but like during the montage, they just kept making music and music together, and you start the movie with them at the wedding ceremony playing together. So I don't really get how they're broken up.
Well,
Um,
because Death was one of the original band members. He played the bass.
so he was there from the first movie.
No, but he was there from like when Wild Stallions became famous, so to speak.
Okay,
So
all right.
he
Well,
was an integral part of the band overall. Uh, Bill and Ted are the founding members, but Death did have a pretty large role in the second movie.
okay, all right. Then I guess the breaking up then makes sense. I would say, as someone who hasn't watched the other movies, it was okay. I would say the one thing that stood out for me was the chemistry between the fathers and the daughters. Perfect casting on the daughters.
Oh yeah,
They got the tones, the like what they do. Like I could tell, like they're like mini me's, like mini Bill, mini Ted. Um,
essentially they're just
it,
the female versions of their characters.
basically, I guess based on their vocabulary, they sounded a bit smarter, but
Definitely.
otherwise, how they speak, music, that was great.
I don't know who the one actress is who plays Thea. Is it Thea? Ted,
Ted's
Ted's
daughter,
daughter.
yeah.
She nailed that performance as, especially if you saw the earlier films, it's uncanny how similar that acting style is to original Keanu Reeves in the first two movies. Like it's wild, like the Stallions.
Okay.
Like she did an amazing job.
Um,
Samara Weaving did a pretty good job, but not as close to original Bill.
question: do you know if is that Hugo Weaving's daughter?
I have no idea.
Because I saw her name in the credits. I was like, is she related to Hugo Weaving?
I don't know, but she's been in a couple movies lately. She's starting to branch out. She was in that Netflix horror movie, The Babysitter. She was also in Ready or Not.
Okay, well, that's good. I would say this is definitely a movie, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It's a bad thing for me, but I'm not going to knock the movie for it because it's a trilogy. It's a lot of inside jokes. Um,
Oh yeah, a lot.
so like the wives being princesses from 14th century England. I kind of thought they were bullshitting until they just like they're like, oh yeah, no, it's the time traveling. Like I thought they didn't kind of just believe them, and
Yeah,
then like
this
when they're at the
movie.
therapy session, I'm like, oh, they're actually princesses.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see this movie without seeing the other two because there's a lot of inside jokes. Like the beginning wedding, how, because in the first movie, Missy, right? It was Missy or Misty, whatever. She was married to Bill's dad in the first movie. And then in the second movie, they got divorced and she married Ted's dad. So now the third movie, they got divorced and she married Ted's little brother. So that's another whole weird inside joke. I don't know why they decided to continue that trend. They ran out of dads, I guess.
I will say the joke in and of itself, even not seeing the other movies, just how she's just kept marrying other people of the family. I thought that was
Yeah,
funny, but I know what you mean. Like, had I known who they were, I probably would have got a bigger laugh out of it.
yeah. I mean, it was a nice little nod to the other movies, but not my favorite part of the movie. Gotta be honest, the character Dennis did annoy me though.
Agreed. I thought Dennis was great up until he called himself Dennis.
Yeah, up
I
until he
yeah.
had opinions, because he was a
Yeah.
pretty good he was a pretty good antagonist for a while, and then all of a sudden you're like, dude, why are you in this, bro?
No, he's a good fucking up antagonist. Um,
But I did enjoy all the alternate versions of themselves that they visited. I thought
yeah,
that was kind of funny.
yeah, that's one of the highlights I think for me because at least for that, I don't need to know much about the previous movies. It's like
Yeah,
future selves are dicks. Let's go another 5, 10 years. Oh, guess what? They're still dicks. So that was still funny and seeing what the future would be like 5, 10, 20 years. And yeah, like I think my favorite ones are the ones where they pretend to be in a mansion with the British
yeah,
accents for no reason.
and it was the was it the guitarist or bassist for Nirvana? I forget his name.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah, he had the nice little cameo in there. I thought that was pretty funny. I knew right from the start. I was like, this isn't their house. Like this isn't going to be them.
Yeah.
But I
I did
thought
have a question.
it's
I
funny.
was kind
Why
of
are you guys talking in a British accent? Like,
can you explain this for me? When they bolt and the head lady of time and space, it's like, all right, well now we're gonna have to go kill them. Like, does does she explain why that's okay? Like, how would that fix the issue? They don't play the song, everything goes to shit.
yeah, I don't really understand that point either.
It's like
Not gonna lie to you.
they ran.
Um,
Okay, so instead of getting them back, we're just gonna kill them. Like,
but it wasn't
I,
even like they ran either. They went to go find the song and like make the
but that's the
song
thing.
essentially.
I get her point thinking that they ran away because she didn't know what the plan was. But your first thought shouldn't be, well, time to send a murder bot.
Yeah,
Like, all right.
yeah, that was kind of weird. Yeah, overall as a whole, I thought the movie was fun, but it's a like I said before, it's essentially a movie that passes the extinguished torch.
I will say them passing the torch was actually pretty well done at the end.
It was. I thought it was
Because
beautiful.
there's quite a few movies where they try to pass the torch hard and it doesn't work. Indiana
Indiana
Jones
Jones and the
4.
Crystal Skull. Yeah, I'm glad we were on the same page with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why Harrison Ford is coming back to swing on a whip at the ripe age of 90.
Yeah, because Shia LaBeouf dropped that pretty bad.
Oh, he did. He's doing other things though now, but
Yeah.
that's another time discussion.
I
This
think the
movie passed
daughters.
the torch really well.
Mhm.
It's unfortunate that the torch is extinguished because this movie came about, I don't know, 20 years too late. So a lot of people who grew up watching Bill and Ted, like Bill and Ted is technically before my time even, but I have an older brother, I have older siblings, so they showed the movie to me, I enjoyed them. So I was excited to finally see this come to an end. And I'm happy it's over. I feel like they did the trilogy justice to some extent. Yes, there was a few things that probably could have been better, but they kind of kept the same feel, the same vibe of the whole movies all together, which I really enjoyed. And it's hard to stay consistent when you have a franchise like that.
Yeah,
Like
especially to come back
look at
to a
Fast and Furious.
franchise after over 2 decades.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Like Fast and Furious, they've jumped the gun on that one.
Yeah, it's not really a franchise, but I would say like Blade Runner is an example of coming back to a movie 20,
Yeah,
30 years later and then having the same vibe, well done. But yeah, like you said, like Fast and Furious. Has
Yeah,
lost
like
the
the
script.
Mad Max franchise as well.
Oh, that's a good one as well. Indiana
But then
Jones is
you
one that
also have
lost it.
other ones. Yes, very very quickly they lost it.
The Matrix will be an interesting one in about 2 years.
Yeah,
See if Keanu Reeves can bring that back to life.
he needs to get a beard back because him without a beard is throwing me off, man.
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, like I know he never had a beard growing up, but and I know the man is 50 years old. I
No, the
get
issue
it.
is he doesn't age. That's the issue.
No, he looks older without a beard though. That's the thing.
I would agree with you. I think the beard makes him look younger.
It does.
Because
The
you
beard
ever see
takes
that
off.
meme
The
of like
beard
all the
takes off like
bearded
20 years.
photos? He barely ages.
He really doesn't. Man's literally an angel sent from Earth or heaven.
Constantine too, coming back.
I didn't mind Constantine one, but all in all, I'm happy Alex Winter came out of acting retirement to finish this off.
Oh, see, I didn't know he was retired. I mean,
Yeah, he was one of, unfortunately, he was one of the younger child teen stars of the 80s who was kind of like Corey Feldman and Corey Haim, who,
okay,
may or may not have been abused.
I get it. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that makes sense then. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like from what you're saying, you recommend the movie.
I definitely recommend the movie if you've watched the other two.
Yeah, that's going to be my
So,
rating as well. I mean, like I had a decent time with it, but I definitely like for me right now, it's like a solid 6 out of 10. But I feel if I watched the other two movies, it'd easily be a 7 or an 8.
yeah, I think your next homework assignment should be to watch the other two whenever you get a chance, because then you'll appreciate this movie a little bit more.
Yeah. And I know it wasn't a
Or
big budget movie, but
y-
some of the CGI, not not the best. But
yeah,
it's a lower budget movie. I get it. Again, this is you know two smaller indie movies from over 20 years ago. They're not
yeah,
going to throw a big budget at it. But that's just one thing that stuck out to me. But I definitely felt like the script was good for the most part, and everyone they got together for it, like you said about Death, like I liked the chemistry with them, even though I didn't see the second movie where he played a main role.
yeah. I mean, the second movie is definitely not as good as the first one, but it's still entertaining. It kind of keeps like that's what I really enjoyed about this is that it kept the vibe right.
Okay,
It stayed true to what it is.
it didn't try to
It's not a
rock the boat.
yeah, it's not a serious, drama comedy type of thing. It's a silly comedy. That's what it is. It's a silly, stupid, stoner, dumb comedy. That's all it was meant to be, and that's what it is. They stayed true to it, and it worked beautifully.
And honestly, for how 2020 has gone so far with the pandemic, a lighthearted stoner comedy movie is exactly what we need right now.
Absolutely. Just something dumb and mindless, essentially, that you can enjoy.
All right, well, definitely one of the more interesting movies of 2020 that I've watched. But if anyone has their thoughts on Bill and Ted, maybe there's someone like me who just jumped in, they need something to watch, or like you, Mike, they watch the other two movies. Where can they let us know about it?
Well, as always, we are thrilled to hear all of your thoughts and comments on the movies we discuss. If you've seen the new Bill and Ted's Face the Music, have you seen the old ones? Feel free to let us know at either Entertainment Expansion on our Instagram page, our Facebook, or hell, you could even check out our YouTube. We got a lot of good content on our YouTube. We are even branching out into the gaming live streams. Feel free to check those out. As always, we look forward from hearing from you.